doing timing chains on a buddy of mine's truck. It's a 1GR-FE, also known as the 4.0 Toyota V6 in an '08 Tacoma. Pain in the ass job. So if you guys are wondering, you can take that timing cover off. There's the oil pan. You can take the timing cover off and leave the oil pan on if you want to. I took them both off because it's easier, because this thing has 300 and something thousand miles on it. It needs to be resealed anyways. But if you can't get this oil pan off, there's a little plastic cover that goes over right there at the where it mounts up to the transmission. You pop that off and there's a couple 10 millimeters in there. Then there's two more bolts down inside there. You got to take off the small oil pan first. Then up by the timing cover you have 4 bolts, 2 short ones and 2 long ones. I think they're 12 millimeters, so they're probably like an 8 millimeter thread that have to come off there also. And they go through the pan up into the bottom of the timing cover there. And your oil pump, you're going to have 2 little notches here. People always say you got to time them and all this, a bunch of crap. This little notch and this little notch line up with the high point on the crank down there, where it looks like almost like a cam. And the timing marks are straightforward, real simple. You line up this mark here and this mark here with your colored links. Same on the other side. Down at the bottom, real simple also. Just make sure you're on your compression stroke, top dead center. And the timing chains, you do your 2 small ones first on each side, then you do your big one. And it isn't like some cars where you do 2 revolutions and they line back up. So if you put them on and then you crank it around by hand down at the crank, and they don't line up, the orange marks and the yellow marks on the chains and stuff, that's okay, as long as you had it right the first time. And they may never line up again. I think you have to go like 7 or 8 turns before they line up again. And the Toyotas leak right in this area, right here. It's common on these. So when you're putting it back together, do your oil pan first, then do your timing cover. Make sure you use plenty of silicone in this area right here. For some reason, they all leak right here. And then there's a little square cover that goes on the timing cover, and it always looks like they're leaking from those, but they don't usually leak. But this job is a pain in the ass. It isn't your simple timing chain or timing belt job. Tons of bolts, hours. You got to undo the rack and pinion to get the oil pan out. There's a stud that I remove also that sticks out of the bottom of the motor there that holds the pan on, and that makes it real simple also.